The ongoing pandemic has forced law firms to continually evaluate their ability to provide quality legal services while working in the office or remotely. If you are transitioning to remote work or want to give your law firm's remote technology a checkup, you'll want to attend our future CLE session, Upping Your Remote Office Game, Prepping Your Firm to be Flexible, taking place at the virtual Wisconsin Solo and Small Firm Conference on October 28th through the 30th. I'm Christopher Shattuck, the State Bar Wisconsin's Law Practice Assistance Manager, and today I'm joined by my co-presenter for the upcoming presentation, attorney Brent Hoeft of Hoeft Law LLC and Firmlock Consulting LLC. Brent, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
Absolutely. So what sort of technology can folks expect to hear about during our upcoming presentation?
Well, we have spoken about this in the past, a lot of these technology resources. A lot of our focus was more on the mobile lawyer, kind of, practicing on the go anywhere, in and out of the office. Obviously, the pandemic has caused longer term outs of the office than we all kind of ever really anticipated. The firms that were able to be flexible and pivot handled it quite nicely, and we want to give that opportunity now with the having hindsight of what we've gone through. What can we have in place, whether or not you have a physical office that you work out of all the time, the types of technology that you can use and how to set up your practice so you can pivot to a virtual, a web-based remote practice as much as possible, as often as possible. We're going to focus a lot on remote desktop protocols, web-based practice management software, which allows your entire office, whether you're attorney, office assistants, paralegals, everybody to essentially have that whole back-end office wherever you are. And also communication tools, because communication is key both between clients and attorneys, and as well as your entire staff through your office. So what kind of tools keep everybody connected, keep everybody feeling like they're all working together, working on the same things, and know where everybody is on the same page. So a lot of that is going to be focusing on those tools and how to do that securely. What tools are available? What do we have to worry about in terms of securely practicing in that way?
Thank you, Brent. And you mentioned using different software that may access the cloud virtually, remote desktop, and then also staff and other attorneys in an office who may be using this type of technology. What are some of the general ethical implications of using technology, working remotely, and supervising employees?
Yeah, well, a lot of it crosses over, the same types of things, ethical requirements that are required of you using technology within your law firm will apply when you're remotely practicing law. One of the big differences is you're all kind of disconnected in a way. You're all on your own. You're in different locations, whether that's working from your home office, which can have implications in terms of, third parties overhearing conversations, video conferencing, stuff like that. So we all have a duty, especially under Competency Rule 1.1, Comment 8. Not only do we have to be competent in the subject matter that we are working with our clients on, but also in the risks and benefits of any technology that we use. So we need to understand how to securely get into our networks. We need to understand what the obligations of attorneys on overseeing how our office managers, paralegals, associates are working on a day-to-day basis. So everything that was going on or should have been going on in the office applies remotely, with some other heightened kind of issues that are presented when you're practicing in a remote practice.
Excellent. And I hear commonly from attorneys concerns about the cost of implementing new technology. Can you explain how many of the technologies we will be discussing are both scalable and affordable?
Yeah. So as technology changes, it changes rapidly, and with that, often the cost changes rapidly, and usually for the better. As more and more competition in the legal practice software market gets out there, costs will get lower and lower. So when you practice and you have to do it ethically, your obligation is to take reasonable efforts to protect client confidentiality. What may have been reasonable, 10 years ago, and may not be so today, and vice versa. So what could have been thousands of dollars layout overhead for a law firm may not be reasonable 10 years ago to undertake, but that cost may have come down to sometimes, tens of dollars a month instead. A lot of these practice management software, document management, document sharing, backup, online backup, all of that stuff has come down drastically, and to the point where if you're not doing it, you probably aren't meeting your reasonable efforts standard, because so much is available and now at a very reasonable cost per month.
Yes, most of these products that we'll be discussing have shifted to a subscription-based model where it's, either, the cost of a cup of coffee a month for some services, or between $40 to $60 a month for case management software that can really run your entire office per person, per user, per month. So let's now shift to the actual conference. So what is your connection to the Solo and Small Firm Conference, and how long have you been attending?
My first year was as a speaker back in 2012. I've been attending as a speaker every year since. I think it was 2014. I was asked to be advisory on the tech committee, joined the tech committee, and in 2018 I became the co-chair on the tech committee and have been so since. So I've been going for many years. Every year it's been great. Sometimes it's a little different format as it's been the last couple of years, but it still is a really valuable conference, and evidenced by my involvement. I increased my involvement every year here, and happy to do so. Want to be part of this great conference. By far one of the best conferences in terms of the amount of information, the diversity of information, and the networking with solo and small firms that, they get the problems that you have as a solo and small firm, and they're open to expanding their networks just as you are. And that's what's just really great, the relationships that you make in the long run of attending this conference.
Yes, you discussed the programming that takes place and how it's helpful to attorneys. So how does attending the conference help make things a little easier for practitioners? And what do you see as some of the common big challenges that practitioners face who might benefit from attending this conference?
Yeah, it's really great how we have tracks laid out, and you can pick and choose. Some years you may have gone to some CLEs in your practice area and you got that covered that year, but you're really struggling with something practice management related, personnel related, technology related, and there's always something for someone to view there. The layout of the conference allows you to constantly pick and choose. You don't have to stay on one track. You can pick and choose what sounds interesting, with the ability that some of these tracks are also recorded, some of the sessions. That helps a lot too, because sometimes you just can't see it all. And it's really great to be able to have that opportunity to go back and view something you may have had a conflict with, two that you equally wanted to view, and you can go back and check that out.
Excellent. So I'm sure some folks that are watching this video may be wondering whether they should attend the conference, and there are others that may be attending the conference for their first time. So what advice would you give to someone contemplating attending their first solo and small firm conference, and then for folks that actually make the decision to attend?
Yeah, I think this year it's a good year because being virtual this year, as we were last year, It gives the opportunity to kind of dip your toe in a little bit. I don't have to, if you have to travel far, you don't live near to the Dells where we usually have it. It gives you the opportunity to view the type of quality materials that are available to you. And I think this year's a little bit different in terms of the networking side of it. We're going to have all kinds of networking opportunities available still. It'll be obviously a little bit different, a little bit harder to do versus the actual in-person. But it's a great way to kind of step off as, maybe you're just a solo starting out, or you're a solo that has been practicing for a long time and you want to expand your network. Maybe some solo small firms in your area don't practice in the areas that you keep having to refer things out to, and you just want to expand that network. It's a great way to meet those types of people, expand your network, and utilize this year as kind of a stepping off point, and see if you like what you see. And if in the years past, if it was a bigger commitment than you were wanting to make at that time, maybe then you can see, yeah, this looks like something. If it was that good virtual, in person the following year will be that much more so.
Absolutely. Well, Brent, thank you again for taking the time to be interviewed today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Chris. Always a pleasure.
And everyone else, we hope to see you virtually at our upcoming session and at the conference. Thank you.